The large spaceship named Horizon floated quietly in the blackness of space. Inside, Captain Tae-ho Kim looked through the main window at the huge space station ahead. It was shaped like a wheel with many spokes, and it glowed with blue and white lights. "We're really here," Tae-ho said softly. He ran a hand through his short black hair. After 20 years of sending messages into space, humans had finally gotten an answer. Not just an answer, but an invitation from something called the Galactic Council. "Captain, they're sending docking instructions," said Jun-soo, the pilot. His fingers moved quickly over the control panel. "They want us to attach at Gate 7. Tae-ho nodded. "Follow their instructions exactly. We can't mess up our first meeting with aliens." The ship moved slowly toward the massive station. Tae-ho felt his heart beating faster. He was about to become the first human to meet beings from other worlds. Not just one alien species, but 30 different kinds that made up this Galactic Council. "Are you nervous?" asked Dr. Ji-woo Park. She stood next to Tae-ho, her science uniform crisp and clean. As the ship's xenobiologist, she had spent her life studying the idea of alien life. Now she would finally see real aliens. "A little," Tae-ho admitted. "The council chose me because I'm diplomatic. But how do you prepare to talk to beings from other planets?" "Just be yourself," Ji-woo said with a smile. "That's why they picked you. You're good with people." "People, yes." 7-foot-tall insect. "Aliens, we'll see." The ship shook slightly as it connected to the space station. There was a hissing sound as the air pressures equalized. Han-Sol Lee, the security officer, checked his tablet. "Air is breathable," Han-Sol reported. "Temperature is a bit warm but fine. Gravity is about 15% stronger than Earth's." "Remember everyone," Tae-ho said to his small crew of 5 people. "We represent all of humanity today. Let's make a good first impression." The airlock door slid open with a soft whoosh. Standing on the other side was something Tae-ho had never seen before. It was about 4 feet tall and looked like a mix between a bird and a lizard. It had blue feathers on its head and arms, but scales on its legs. Its eyes were large and yellow, and it wore what seemed to be a uniform with many colorful badges. "Greetings, humans of Earth," the creature said in perfect English. "I am Ambassador Krill of the Avali people. Welcome to the Nexus, home of the Galactic Council." Tae-ho bowed slightly. "Thank you for your welcome, Ambassador. I am Captain Tae-ho Kim of Earth. These are my crew members." After introductions, Ambassador Krill led them through the station. The hallways were wider and taller than they needed to be for humans. As they walked, they passed many different aliens. Some floated rather than walked. Others had many legs or arms. Some didn't seem to have a clear front or back. "The Council has 32 member species," Krill explained. "Some breathe oxygen like you. Others breathe methane or nitrogen. Some don't breathe at all. We've worked hard to make this station comfortable for everyone." Tae-ho tried not to stare at the passing aliens, but it was difficult. One being looked like a walking tree. Another seemed made of crystals that clinked together as it moved. "You'll meet the High Council tomorrow," Krill continued. "Today you'll rest in your quarters and adjust to the station. The gravity and air are set to Earth standards in your rooms." As they walked down a large main hallway, Tae-ho noticed something odd. There was a side corridor that all the aliens seemed to avoid. When anyone passed it, they moved to the far side of the main hallway, as if afraid to get close. "What's down there?" Tae-ho asked, pointing to the avoided corridor. "Ambassador." Krill's feathers stood up suddenly. "That area belongs to the Dracorians. It is best avoided." "Dracorians?" Ji-woo asked, her scientific curiosity obviously sparked. Krill lowered his voice. "The most powerful species in the council. They rarely speak during meetings, but when they do, everyone listens. They've never lost a war." "And why does everyone avoid their area?" Tae-ho asked. "That's where they keep their status symbols," Krill said nervously. "The Void Claws." Before Tae-ho could ask what a Void Claw was, they arrived at their quarters. The rooms were surprisingly Earth-like, though the furniture was a bit too low and wide. "Rest well," Krill said. Tomorrow will be a historic day for your species. After the ambassador left, the humans gathered in Taeho's room. Did you see that six-legged thing with the glowing spots? Junsu asked excitedly. Or that blob that kept changing colors? I can't believe we're actually here, Jiwoo said, setting up her equipment to take readings. 32 different alien species in one place. It's a scientific dream. Hansol looked less happy. I don't like that everyone's afraid of these Dracorian creatures. And what are these void claw things they keep as status symbols? We'll find out more tomorrow, Taeho said. For now, let's rest and prepare. But Taeho couldn't sleep that night. The station hummed quietly, and the artificial gravity felt strange. After hours of staring at the ceiling, he got up and decided to walk around. The main halls were quieter now, with only a few aliens moving about. Taeho found himself drawn to the forbidden corridor, the one that Ambassador Krill had warned them to avoid. Just a quick look, he told himself, just to understand our hosts better. The corridor was darker than the main hallway. The walls were made of a black material that seemed to absorb light. At the end was a large window looking into what appeared to be a habitat enclosure. Taeho moved closer to the window and gasped. Inside was the most amazing creature he had ever seen. It was huge, maybe 10 feet long, with 6 powerful legs. Its body was covered in scales that shifted between deep purple and black. It had a head like a big cat, with long fangs that stuck out from its mouth. Its tail ended in spikes that looked sharp enough to cut metal. The creature paced around its enclosure, which seemed too small for its size. It moved with surprising grace for something so large. You shouldn't be here, human, the deep voice made Taeho jump. He turned to find himself looking up, way up, at a towering figure. The alien stood at least 8 feet tall. Its body was covered in dark red scales. It had a long face that reminded Taeho of Earth's extinct dinosaurs, with yellow eyes that seemed to glow in the dim light. It wore armor made of some black metal that reflected no light at all. You must be a Dracorian, Taeho said, trying to keep his voice steady. I am Kang, High Commander of the Dracorian Fleet, the alien said. Its voice was so deep that Taeho could feel it in his chest. You are the human representative. It wasn't a question. Yes, I'm Captain Taeho Kim. I apologize if I'm not supposed to be here. The Dracorian looked at him, then at the creature in the enclosure. You are not afraid of the Void Claw? Taeho looked back at the magnificent beast. No, it's beautiful. The Dracorian's eyes narrowed. Beautiful? It is the deadliest predator in the Outer Rim. We are the only species that has ever tamed them. On Earth we have a saying, Taeho said. Every creature, no matter how dangerous, can respond to kindness. High Commander Kang made a sound that might have been a laugh. Kindness to a Void Claw? You humans are strange indeed. The Void Claw came closer to the window, watching them with intelligent eyes that glowed purple in the darkness. Tomorrow, you will stand before the Council, Kang said. They will judge if humans are ready to join Galactic society. Many believe you are too primitive, too violent. And what do you believe? Taeho asked. The Dracorian studied him for a long moment. I believe you are, unpredictable. And in the galaxy, unpredictable things are dangerous. With that, the Dracorian turned and walked away, leaving Taeho alone with his thoughts and the watching eyes of the Void Claw. Tomorrow would indeed be a very important day for humanity. The next morning, Taeho woke up early. He didn't tell his crew about meeting the Dracorian or seeing the Void Claw. He wasn't sure why he kept it secret. Maybe he didn't want to worry them. Today's the big day, said Jiwoo as the humans ate breakfast in their quarters. The food looked like Earth food but tasted slightly different. We meet the full council. Hansol checked his tablet. Ambassador Krill will come for us in 1 hour. Everyone should wear their formal uniforms. Bombalaum. Crew dressed in their navy blue Earth uniforms with the planet's flag on the sleeve. Taeho looked at his small team. Jiwoo the scientist, Hansol the security officer, Junsu the pilot, and Minji the communications expert. 5 humans representing billions. When Ambassador Krill arrived, he seemed nervous. His feathers kept fluffing up and then flattening. "Is everything okay?" Taeho asked as they walked through the station. Yes, Krill said quickly. "It's just that, well, all 32 council species will be there today. Even the Dracorians are sending their high commander. They rarely attend meetings about new species." Taeho thought about his meeting with Kang last night but said nothing. They entered a massive round room. In the center was a circular platform. Around it, rising up like a bowl, were seats filled with the strangest collection of beings Taeho had ever seen. Some looked almost human. Others were completely alien, clouds of gas in special containers, crystalline structures that glittered, things with too many eyes or limbs. High above, in a special section, sat the Dracorians. Taeho spotted Kang among them. A tall, thin alien with skin like blue paper stood up. "Welcome, humans of Earth. I am Elder June, head of the Galactic Council. Today we begin the process of evaluating your species for potential membership." Taeho and his crew bowed respectfully. "We have watched your planet for many years," Elder June continued. "Your species has advanced quickly from primitive technology to space travel. Such rapid progress is unusual and concerning," added another alien, this one looking like a giant centipede. "Humans have fought many wars among themselves. They might not be stable enough for council membership. For the next 2 hours, the council asked questions. Why did humans fight wars? How did their governments work? What were their plans for space?" Taeho answered as honestly as he could. "Your weapons technology is advancing faster than your social progress," said a blob-like alien. "This is not a good sign." "But humans show great creativity," argued a beautiful alien with 4 arms and glowing skin. "Their art and music are unique." The debate continued until Elder June raised a hand for silence. "Tonight there will be a welcome dinner. Tomorrow we will continue our questions. You are dismissed for now." As they left the council chamber, Minji whispered, "That was intense. Some of them don't seem to like us very much." "They're cautious," Taeho said. "Think about how different they all are from each other, yet they work together. They want to make sure we fit in." Ambassador Krill led them to their quarters to rest before the dinner. As they walked, a small robot floated up to them. "Greetings," it said in a mechanical voice. "I am Sung-min, a translation assistant assigned to the Earth delegation. I can help you understand cultural differences during your stay." "Thank you, Sung-min," Taeho said, glad for the help. That evening, the welcome dinner was held in a large hall. Foods from many worlds were laid out on tables. Some looked delicious. Others bubbled or moved in ways that made Taeho's stomach turn. Sung-min floated beside the humans. "The items on the blue plates are safe for human consumption," the robot explained. "The others might be poisonous to your biology." As they ate, various council members came to talk to them. Most were curious about Earth. A few seemed suspicious. "Is it true that humans keep other animals as pets?" asked a small furry alien. "Yes," Jiwoo answered. "Many Earth animals live with humans as companions. Dogs, cats, birds." "Fascinating," the alien replied. "Most species in the galaxy find this practice strange. Only the Dracorians keep other beings as status symbols." Taeho saw an opportunity. "We heard about their void claws." "What exactly are they?" The alien's fur stood on end. "You should not speak of such things. The void claws are from the death world Nexus 9. They are apex predators that even Dracorians fear, yet they capture them to show their power." Sung-min floated closer. "The Dracorians discovered Nexus 9 5,000 years ago. The planet's gravity is twice that of Earth. Everything there evolved to be deadly. The void claws ruled that world, hunting in packs, killing anything they found." "But the Dracorians tamed them?" Taeho asked, thinking of the sad creature he had seen. "Not tamed," Sung-min corrected. "Controlled. They use neural suppressors to keep them docile. No being other than a Dracorian has ever touched a void claw and lived. They are living weapons." Later in the evening, Taeho noticed the Dracorians had entered the hall. They stayed together in a corner, their tall forms towering over the other aliens. High Commander Kang was watching him. The Dracorians are the most powerful military force in the galaxy, Sungmin explained, following Taeho's gaze. Their ships are the fastest, their weapons the strongest. No one has defeated them in battle for 10,000 years. They don't seem to socialize much, Taeho observed. They believe most species are beneath them, Sungmin said. They only joined the council because it was easier than conquering everyone. Their vote can override 5 others on important matters. As the dinner ended, Taeho found himself face to face with High Commander Kang. The Dracorian's yellow eyes stared down at him. You did not mention our meeting to the council, Kang said quietly. I didn't think it was important, Taeho replied. Curious. Most beings would boast about meeting the High Commander. Kang's voice was like distant thunder. You continue to surprise me, human. Is that good or bad? Taeho asked. I haven't decided yet. The Dracorian leaned closer. You said every creature responds to kindness, even a void claw? I believe so, Taeho said. On Earth, humans have formed bonds with wolves, big cats, and even bears, all dangerous predators. Words are easy, Kang said. Actions would prove more. Before Taeho could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the station. Red lights flashed in the hall. Emergency containment breach in Sector 7, announced a voice over speakers. All personnel evacuate immediately. The aliens in the hall began running in all directions. Some were screaming. Ambassador Krill rushed to the humans, his feathers completely puffed out in fear. We must get you to safety, he squawked. Quickly! What's happening? Han Sol demanded, moving to protect his team. Krill's eyes were wide with terror. A void claw has escaped its enclosure. It's loose in the station. The hall doors burst open. Standing there, its purple scales gleaming under the emergency lights, was the massive void claw Taeho had seen last night. Its neural suppressor collar was broken and hanging from its neck. Its eyes glowed with anger and freedom. The creature scanned the room, its gaze moving over the panicking aliens. Then it looked directly at Taeho. It remembered him. Run! Screamed Ambassador Krill. It's going to attack. But Taeho didn't run. As the enormous predator padded slowly toward him, he remembered what he had told Kang. Every creature responds to kindness. Now he would have to prove it or die trying. The room fell silent except for the blaring alarms. The Void Claw stood just 20 feet away from Taeho. Its 6 powerful legs were tense, ready to pounce. Its purple eyes were fixed on him. Captain! Han Sol yelled, raising his weapon. Get! Behind me! No, Taeho said calmly. Lower your weapon, Han Sol. Don't make any sudden moves. That thing will kill you! Ambassador Krill screeched from behind a table where he was hiding. The Void Claw took another step forward. It was huge, up close. Its head was level with Taeho's chest even though its legs were bent. The broken neural suppressor collar hung loosely around its thick neck. Taeho noticed something he hadn't seen before. The creature had scars all over its body. Old wounds that had healed poorly. Signs of pain and mistreatment. I think it's been hurt, Taeho said softly. Look at those scars. Jiwoo, who had frozen in place, whispered, It's not attacking. It's just watching you. The doors on the far side of the room burst open. A group of Dracorians rushed in, led by High Commander Kang. They carried large weapons that hummed with energy. Stand aside, human! One of the Dracorians shouted. We will handle the beast. The Void Claw's head snapped toward the Dracorians. It made a low growling sound that Taeho could feel in his chest. The creature's muscles tensed even more. Wait. Taeho raised his hands. Don't shoot, you'll just make it angry. The Void Claw turned back to Taeho when he spoke. Its large nostrils flared as it sniffed the air. Taeho remembered something from Earth. Many large predators responded to body language. If you showed fear, they would attack. If you showed calm, they might hesitate. He took a slow, careful step forward. Captain, no, Minji gasped. Stay back, everyone, Taeho ordered. I think it's curious about us. We're new to it. Taeho kept his eyes on the Void Claw, but not directly in its eyes. That might seem like a challenge. He slowly raised his right hand, palm up, in front of him. The great hall was so quiet now that Teho could hear the creature's heavy breathing. From the corner of his eye he could see the Dracorians with their weapons ready. Elder June and other council members watched from the doorway, their faces showing shock and fear. "Hey there," Teho said in a soft, gentle voice, the kind people used with scared animals on Earth. "You're just confused, aren't you? All these strange beings, all this noise. It's scary." The Void Claw tilted its massive head slightly. "It's purple." Eyes blinked. "That's right," Teho continued, taking another small step forward. "No one's going to hurt you now. I won't let them." Someone in the room gasped as Teho moved even closer to the creature. Now just 10 feet separated them. The Void Claw could leap that distance in a second if it wanted to attack. "The human is insane," someone whispered. "It's going to tear him apart," another voice said. Teho blocked out the voices. He focused only on the magnificent being in front of him. "On my world, we've learned that all creatures want some basic things. Safety, respect, kindness, even the most dangerous ones." The Void Claw took a step forward, then another. Now it was just 5 feet away. Its head was lowered, but not in an attacking position. More like curiosity. "I bet no one's been kind to you for a long time," Teho said. "Maybe never." The creature made a sound. Not a growl this time, but something softer, almost like a whine. Teho smiled. "Yeah, I understand. It's lonely being feared by everyone." Then he did something that made everyone in the room gasp. He knelt down, making himself smaller, less threatening. His hand was still extended, palm up. "Hi, Commander," one of the Dracorians shouted. "Should we fire?" "Hold," Kang ordered, his yellow eyes fixed on the scene before him. "I want to see what happens." The Void Claw moved closer still. Now Teho could feel its hot breath on his hand. It sniffed his fingers carefully. Its teeth could bite his hand off in one snap. "That's it," Teho whispered. "I'm not going to hurt you." Then, to the absolute shock of every being present, the Void Claw pushed its massive head against Teho's hand. The rough scales felt warm under his fingers. "He's touching it," Ambassador Krill said in disbelief. "The human is touching a Void Claw. And it's letting him," Elder June added, his voice filled with wonder. Teho slowly began to pet the creature's head. The Void Claw's eyes half closed in what looked like pleasure. A low rumbling sound came from its chest. Not a growl, but something like a purr. "That's a good whatever you are," Teho said with a smile. "See? Kindness works better than neural suppressors." The Void Claw suddenly dropped to the ground, rolling onto its side like a giant cat. Its 6 legs relaxed, and the rumbling purr grew louder. Jiwoo approached cautiously, her scanner in hand. "Captain, this is incredible. The creature's brain chemistry is changing rapidly, its stress hormones are dropping. It's bonding with you." High Commander Kang stepped forward, his weapon now lowered. "This is impossible," he said. "In 10,000 years, no non-Dracorian has ever tamed a Void Claw." "I didn't tame it," Teho said, still petting the creature's head. "I just showed it respect." The Void Claw rolled back onto its feet but stayed close to Teho. It even pushed against his leg like a house cat asking for more attention. Elder June approached slowly. The ancient alien's eyes were wide with amazement. "Perhaps," he said, "we have misunderstood humans." "What do you mean?" Teho asked, scratching under the Void Claw's chin. The creature's back leg thumped against the floor in pleasure. "We invited you here believing your species might be too primitive or too dangerous," Elder June explained. "Some council members even suggested containing humans to your solar system until you matured further." Teho frowned. "Containing us?" "Elder." Yoon had the good sense to look embarrassed. The Dracorians especially considered humans unpredictable. "But now, High Commander Kang finished, we see that unpredictability can be valuable." The Void Claw growled softly when Kang spoke. Teho placed a calming hand on its head. "Humans have a special connection with animals on our world," Teho explained. For thousands of years, we've lived alongside many species. We've learned to understand them, to work with them instead of just controlling them. The Dracorian High Commander studied Teho for a long moment. Then he did something surprising. He put his weapon down and approached the human and the Void Claw. The creature tensed but didn't growl when Teho spoke softly to it. "It's okay. Let's show them we can all get along." "You must teach us this skill," Kang said. "The Void Claws have always fought our control. We've had to use the neural suppressors to keep them manageable." Teho looked at the broken collar on the floor. "These creatures aren't meant to be trophies or weapons. They're intelligent beings who need respect." For the first time, Kang seemed uncertain. "This goes against 10,000 years of Dracorian tradition." "Sometimes," Teho said gently, "tradition needs to change." The Void Claw, sensing the tension in the air, pressed closer to Teho. It seemed to have chosen him as its protector. "The council meeting will reconvene immediately," Elder June announced. "I believe we have much to reconsider about humans and their place in galactic society." As they all left the Great Hall, with the Void Claw walking calmly beside Teho, the captain could feel that something important had changed. Humanity had just shown the galaxy something new, the power of compassion, and that was more impressive than any weapon could ever be. The council chamber was packed. News of what happened with the Void Claw had spread quickly through the space station. Now, all members wanted to see the human who had done the impossible. Teho stood in the center of the round room. The Void Claw sat beside him like a giant, loyal pet. Its purple scales gleamed under the lights. Every few minutes it would bump its head against Teho's hand, asking for more pets. "This emergency session of the Galactic Council will now begin," Elder June announced. "We are here to discuss the unexpected events of yesterday evening." The council members whispered among themselves. Many pointed at the Void Claw, their eyes wide with fear or wonder. "First," Elder June continued, "I must ask, Captain Teho, how did you know the creature would not attack you?" Teho placed his hand on the Void Claw's head. The creature made its rumbling purr sound. "I didn't know for sure," Teho admitted, "but I saw something in its eyes. Not just anger or hunger, but intelligence and pain from how it had been treated." Jiwoo stepped forward with her scanner. "With the Council's permission, I've been studying the Void Claw's biology. Its brain is remarkably complex. It can understand simple language and remember faces, and it seems to feel emotions much like we do." A council member that looked like a giant jellyfish floated forward. "If this is true, then the neural suppressors used by the Dracorians would cause great suffering." High Commander Kang, who sat with the other Dracorians, stood up. His voice echoed through the chamber. "For 10,000 years we have believed the Void Claws were mindless killers. We thought control was the only option." Kang looked at Teho and the creature beside him. "We may have been wrong." The chamber fell silent. A Dracorian admitting, "They were wrong. This was unheard of. The humans' method showed promise," Kang continued. "We wish to learn this approach. It may be more effective than our traditional ways." Elder June nodded slowly. "This brings us to our second matter. The human demonstration has forced us to reconsider many things about their species." An alien with 4 arms and blue skin spoke next. "When humans were invited to join the council, many of us had doubts. Your technology is still basic. Your society is divided. You fight wars among yourselves. But now," added a small, furry council member, "we see something you possess that may be more valuable than advanced technology. A unique way of connecting with other beings." Teho looked around the chamber. "On Earth we have a long history of working with animals, from wolves that became dogs to wild horses that became our transportation. We learned that force creates enemies, but kindness creates allies." The Void Claw, as if understanding his words, pressed closer to his side. Elder June folded his thin blue hands. "The Council must vote on whether to offer Earth full membership status. This is unusual for such a young species, but these are unusual circumstances." One by one, the council members voted. Most said yes right away. A few hesitated but eventually agreed. When it was the Dracorians' turn, all eyes turned to High Commander Kang. The Dracorians vote yes, Kang said. Humans have shown they have much to teach even the oldest species in the galaxy. Elder June smiled. It is decided then. Earth will be offered full membership in the Galactic Council, with all the rights and responsibilities that entails. Taeho bowed deeply. On behalf of all humans, I thank the Council for this honor. There is one more matter, Kang said, stepping down from his seat to approach Taeho. The Void Claw has clearly bonded with you, Captain Taeho. By ancient Dracorian law, this means it belongs to you now. Taeho frowned. I don't want to own it. No being should be property. Nevertheless, Kang insisted, it has chosen you as its, what would you call it? Friend, Taeho said simply. We could be friends. The Dracorian seemed to think about this new concept. Friend, he repeated as if trying out the word. This is why humans are unpredictable. You see possibilities others miss. After the council meeting ended, Taeho and his crew gathered in their quarters. The Void Claw came too, squeezing its large body through the doorway. It found a corner and curled up, watching them with intelligent eyes. We need to give it a name, Junsu suggested. We can't just keep calling it the Void Claw. What about Soul? Taeho suggested. After our son. The creature's ears perked up at the name. I think it likes that, Jiwoo said with a smile. Sol, it is. Hansol crossed his arms. So what happens now? We came here expecting a simple first contact. Instead, we've got full council membership and a pet space monster. Not a pet, Taeho corrected. A friend. And now we have a lot of work to do. The Dracorians want us to help them understand their Void Claws better. Elder June wants to study how humans form bonds with other species. Minji looked concerned. But what will Earth say? This is much more than our mission called for. I think Earth will be pleased, Taeho said. We've just gained allies, knowledge, and protection. The Council has technology centuries ahead of ours. Medicine that could cure diseases. Clean energy that could save our planet. The door chimed and Sungmin the translator robot floated in. Captain Taeho, the Dracorian High Commander requests your presence in the Void Claw habitat area. Taeho looked at Sol. Want to see your old home? The creature stood up immediately, ready to follow him. When they arrived at the habitat area, Taeho was surprised to see not just Kang, but a group of Dracorian scientists. They were removing neural suppressor collars from 3 other Void Claws in the enclosure. We are following your example, Kang explained. These Void Claws will no longer be controlled by force. Instead, we will try your method of friendship. The freed Void Claws looked wary but curious. When they saw Sul without a collar, they seemed to relax slightly. It may take time, Taeho warned. Trust must be earned. You can't rush it. Kang nodded. The Dracorians have existed for millions of years. We have time to learn new ways. One of the Dracorian scientists approached Taeho. We have studied the Void Claws for centuries, but never understood them. Could you show us how you approach Sol? What signs did you look for? For the next few hours, Taeho shared what he knew about animal behavior from Earth. He explained how body language, tone of voice, and respect were key to forming bonds with other creatures. As the day ended, Taeho stood with Kang, watching the Void Claws interact more freely in their enlarged habitat. Your arrival has changed many things, Kang said quietly. Some Dracorians are uncomfortable with these new ideas. Change is difficult after 10,000 years of tradition. All growth involves some discomfort, Taeho replied, but I think you'll find it's worth it. Sul padded over and leaned against Taeho's side. The human and the Void Claw looked up at the Dracorian High Commander. 2 species that should have been enemies, now standing together as friends. And that, Taeho thought, was what humanity could offer the galaxy. A new way of seeing the universe and all its amazing creatures. 3 weeks had passed since the day Taeho first touched Sol the Void Claw. In that short time, many things had changed on the Nexus space station. The humans had been given larger quarters. Sol needed more space than the small rooms they had, at first. The Void Claw slept curled up at the foot of Teho's bed each night. Sometimes its tail would thump against the floor when it dreamed. Teho stood at the window of his new room, looking out at the stars. Soon the Earthship Horizon would return to take them home. He wondered how people on Earth would react to Sol, and to the news that Earth was now a full member of the Galactic Council. "Captain," Jiwoo called from the doorway. "The Dracorian. Training session is about to start." Teho nodded and turned to Sol. "Ready to help some more Dracorians today?" Sol stretched its 6 legs and made a happy rumbling sound. The creature had grown healthier in the past weeks. Its scales were shinier and it had gained weight. Most importantly, it no longer had fear in its eyes. They walked to the large training area that had once been the Void Claw habitat. The space had been transformed. The walls that made it feel like a prison were gone. Now it was an open area with trees, rocks, and even a small pool of water. High Commander Kang was waiting for them, along with 5 Dracorian trainers and their Void Claws. The Dracorians still looked stiff and uncomfortable with the new methods, but they were trying. "Captain Teho," Kang greeted with a small bow. The gesture was new, a sign of respect that Dracorians rarely showed to other species. "High Commander," Teho returned the bow. "How are your students progressing?" Kang looked at the Dracorian trainers who were attempting to gain their Void Claw's trust. "Slowly. 10,000 years of tradition does not change overnight. But they are learning." One young Dracorian was doing better than the others. She sat quietly on the ground, not trying to control her Void Claw but simply being patient. The creature was slowly moving closer to her, curious rather than afraid. "Sungjae shows promise," Kang said, nodding toward the young Dracorian. "She understands that trust must be earned, not demanded." Sol padded over to the other Void Claws. They greeted each other by touching noses. Then Sol seemed to demonstrate to the others that Teho was safe, leading them closer to the human. "They're learning from each other," Jiwoo observed, scanning the creatures with her device. "Sol is showing them that humans can be trusted." The training session went well. By the end, 2 more Dracorians had managed to touch their Void Claws without causing fear. It was small progress but important. After the session, Elder June came to meet Teho. The ancient alien looked pleased. "The Council has been watching your work with great interest," Elder June said. "What you have achieved here goes beyond just taming Void Claws. You have changed how 2 species see each other." "I just showed them a different way," Teho said modestly. "Your different way may transform the galaxy," Elder June replied. Already, other council members are rethinking how they interact with the life forms on their worlds. The Zentari have begun studying Earth's methods of animal husbandry. The Avali are fascinated by your concept of pets as family members. Teho smiled. "Humans have always had a special connection with animals. It's part of our history, part of who we are." Later that day, High Commander Kang requested a private meeting with Teho. They met in a quiet room overlooking the stars. Sol came too, lying at Teho's feet as they talked. "The Horizon returns tomorrow," Kang said. "You will go back to Earth?" "Yes," Teho confirmed. "We need to report to our leaders and prepare for full council membership." Kang was quiet for a moment. Then he said something unexpected. "We have monitored your planet for many years," the Dracorian admitted. "We saw your wars, your pollution, your divisions. The Dracorians believed humans were dangerous and not ready for the galaxy." Teho nodded. "We have our problems. We're still growing, still learning. But we failed to see what truly makes humans special," Kang continued. "Your ability to connect with beings entirely different from yourselves, to see past differences and find friendship. This is rare in our galaxy." The Dracorian handed Teho a small device. This contains star maps showing council worlds. It also has translations of our history and science, knowledge that will help Earth prepare for its new role. "Thank you," Teho said, surprised by the gift. "This will be incredibly valuable." There is one more thing, Kang said. The Dracorian High Council has officially gifted Sol to humanity as our first ambassador. He is no longer considered property, but a bridge between our cultures. Taeho looked down at Sul, who was watching them with intelligent eyes. I think Sul has already chosen to come with me. The next morning, the human crew prepared to board the Horizon for their journey home. Many council members came to say goodbye. Even species that had been suspicious of humans at first now seemed sad to see them leave. A human ambassador will return soon, Taeho promised, and Earth will begin preparing for council technology and visitors. Jiwoo was checking Sol's health one last time before the journey. He's in perfect condition, she reported, and he seems excited to see Earth. Hansol had been busy adapting a section of the ship for Sol's comfort. The crew might be surprised to see what we're bringing back, he joked. As they prepared to board, Elder June presented Taeho with a special communication device. The council has never encountered a species quite like yours, the elder said. You are technologically young, but emotionally, surprisingly advanced. We believe humans have much to teach the galaxy about compassion. Taeho accepted the device with a bow. And we have much to learn from the council's wisdom. Finally, it was time to leave. Taeho, his crew, and Sol boarded the Horizon. The ship detached from the station and moved away slowly. From the viewport, Taeho watched the Nexus grow smaller. Much had changed in a few short weeks. Humans had gone from being an unknown species to full council members. Dracorians were questioning traditions they had followed for 10,000 years, and a creature once feared throughout the galaxy now lay peacefully at his feet. Ready to see Earth, Sol? Taeho asked, scratching behind the Void Claw's ear-like sensors. Sol made his rumbling purr sound and pressed against Taeho's leg. As the Horizon prepared to jump to faster-than-light speed, Taeho thought about what waited at home. Earth would soon join a galactic community of amazing beings. There would be challenges ahead, but also incredible opportunities. And it had all started because a human wasn't afraid to offer kindness to a creature everyone else feared. Sometimes, Taeho reflected, the simplest acts can change everything, even the galaxy. The end.